Hello there, welcome back to Date Everything. Hello there, Uncle Rusty here. Welcome back to Date Everything, the game where you can date your weights because sometimes you need an uplifting moment. These are terrible. So we're in our, what I can only assume is our exercise room. So, wait time? I think so.
One moment you're looking at your
Butts.
old sports equipment, and the next you're looking at a gorgeous, muscled man dressed in various pieces of sports equipment that once belonged to a far more optimistic version of yourself. As you watch this guy go through an entire squat routine, it's more than clear that, unlike you, this guy has never struggled to maintain an athletic routine.
I feel targeted?
Mid-squat, he stops suddenly, bending down to peer at you through his legs. A handsome, smiling face, boxed in by thighs so thick and developed, you're rendered speechless for a few minutes.
I mean, you know.
Oh, hey!
Hello there.
He sets his weights down, standing up and beaming at you like you've just told him he's won the lottery.
It's about time you made your way over here. I was starting to think you forgot about me.
Don't judge me.
Hey, no judging here, pal. Look, why don't we just start over?
The lights dim, and a spotlight appears from... you're not quite sure where, really.
Yeah, I'm also confused.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the stadium, the king of the ring, the Duke of Dunk, the jack of all trades, master of fun, Mr. Duncan Dunk Shuttlecock! Oh, hell yeah!
I mean, I'm pepped. I want to go play like
Thank you.
5 rounds of tennis or something now.
He goes through a few poses that really make his abundant muscles pop, looking at you with the grin of a confident athlete.
Oh, no, I'm definitely cheering
Dunk
for
is
him.
delighted by your cheering, and he spends a few more moments basking in your attention.
Oh, man. It's been a while since I actually had an audience. Feels good. Don't worry about remembering all those names. That's just stuff that makes me sound cool when I hit the court, or the field, or wherever I'm playing.
Fair.
Dunk is just fine for pals. Or the pals.
He cocks his head to the side, thinking. You can almost see the gears turning.
So, like, best friends? Oh! Well, Dunk is fine for lovers do. But if you say it high, you can call me just about anything. Anyway, it's great to see you here finally.
He grows very serious, placing a strong but gentle hand on your shoulder.
What happened, man? How come you stayed away so long? Did someone ruin the joy of sports for you? Ah, man, I get that. Life is so much sometimes, but you gotta make time for yourself, too.
This is a very deep conversation. I wasn't ready for this so early on a Thursday.
Dunk gives your shoulder one final little squeeze, and then he's slapping you on the back so enthusiastically you nearly collapse. This fine hunk clearly does not know his own strength.
Well, hey, no matter what happened before, you're here now. Your inner athlete said, let's get it, baby! And who are we to say no to your inner athlete?
You're so right.
Hell yeah, love that positive attitude. We're gonna have a great time together.
Why do I know this voice?
We just gotta get you into the flow. But I wanna make sure you're ready for it.
Uh-huh.
After all, working out without a proper warm-up is a great way to get a nasty injury.
Make sure you warm up, people.
So you come back here when you're ready to get into it.
Ah,
Meet me by the weight rack, all right? And bring your positive attitude. We're gonna have fun!
but I was just at the weight rack. No, I wanted to get to know more about your hunkulousness. Okay, anyway. Something tells me this might be interesting. Let's see.
You're forced to crane your neck upwards as you try to take in the entirety of the blonde Viking towering over you. He stares down at you, cutting a truly intimidating figure.
I don't like that.
He says nothing for several minutes. You begin to wonder if perhaps your cross-trainer is broken.
Calm down, my dude. We're all here to have a calm down. You don't need to scream like that. Are you single? Oh, Jesus. This guy's just grunting. I'm into it.
K is for horses. And yes, it was a fine battle cry. Nice. I don't know you and you don't know me, and it does seem safer for you to be polite.
You threatening me, big boy?
Yes, safer. If you haven't noticed my rippling warrior's build, I invite you to inspect me more closely.
I see your flywheel. Oh, I'm going to
Take
peer.
a good look at Kristoff's rippling warrior's build. Him big.
You assume intimacy where none is offered. I feel it. The surge of violence within me. Come to me at this place with your weapon. Next we meet, and glory shall be mine.
That was barely a conversation. Okay, what is this? My trophies. Is this gonna be anything?
You see before you a glistening, oiled male form, perfect in its chiseled majesty.
I don't like how tight your pants are.
His gold, or is that bronze skin, is perfectly smooth, his features flawless, and his face? Stunning.
I agree.
Oh, hello there. Don't mind me. I'm just catching a bit of air.
What is that voice? What the? Hold on a second. Don't mind me, I'm just...
Oh, yes. I am rather worth taking a look at, aren't I?
Uh-huh.
I'm Stepford, trophy of trophies at your service.
Oh, you're Stepford! I mean, again with the pants.
I've just been standing here all covered with oil, waiting for a good sunbeam to come along.
Who wrote these voice lines for these voice actors and actresses? I need to have a conversation with you. Yeah, no.
That's not unusual.
Uh-huh.
Take your time. So, what brings you around these parts? And are you satisfied with what you found?
This is so straightforward. Oh, yes.
I'm glad. Despite being a natural, I work hard to keep all this up. As it so happens, I have a self-tanning appointment coming up. Can't be late, but I'm so glad we met. Come and see me again soon.
I'm
won't
having
you?
2-minute conversation with things here today.
And be sure to bring that fantastic red shirt.
Oh, well, thank you.
Got a tan.
No, This is... I'm having 2-minute... I need to play more.
It's me.
Uh-huh.
Were you followed? Is this signal encrypted? Listen, I've been giving more thought to our previous conversation about the ethical implications of transforming inanimate objects into humans.
Uh-huh.
I've come to a realization.
Sure.
It's honestly not up to us whether an object should become human. It's up to the object. And if an object expresses desire for personhood, who are we to deny them?
Sure.
I did discover one other interesting piece to all this.
Uh-huh.
After analyzing the data, it appears that certain objects can only become human if the Dateviator user possesses the necessary personality traits. I'm not sure why. I theorize it's because certain character attributes emit an energy vibration on the same resonant frequency as the molecules of a particular inanimate object. But in all honesty, it's likely a mystery that science will never solve. That science will never solve! Regardless, I was able to discover which personality traits seem to resonate with each inanimate object, and I've uploaded that data into the Dateviators. I've labeled it Realization Recipes. You should be able to access those files now.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, but there's no time.
Wait, we can turn them into
Valdivian's
actual
goons
people?
were closing in, so I was forced to flee to a country in South America to avoid detection. And my cell carrier's overseas data plan is very limited. Seriously? 10 megabytes a day? I can barely send a GIF. What a joke. Remember, check the date viators for the realization recipes.
Oh. What? Huh? That's a teddy. I'm going after the teddy.
It appears that your intentions have gone awry once more, as the interloper Lucinda Lavish stands there instead, striking a pose.
Well, hello, Miss Lavish.
It's me.
Uh-huh.
I said I would return, and now I'm going to give you a choice. Thank goodness. Tell me, lover,
Oh, gosh.
how would you like to know me?
Well, she's not just like a... She's not just an object. She's a person with feelings. I want to know more about you.
Talk? About me?
Yeah.
I love talking about myself.
Well, good.
I'm Lucinda Lavish. I'm the extra cool DLC character who is, well, not really a dateable object per se, but more of a different thing. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. There you go.
That's a good way of looking at it. I haven't thought of that before. But, you know, when you put the question to me like, what am I? It just kind of seems so frivolous. Boy, I'm really messing this up, huh?
No. You're doing great.
Yeah. Ugh. Why am I laughing so much? This isn't funny.
Shame. I feel bad for her now.
I'm just... It's always easier when you're playing a role, I feel. When you know what the boundaries are. This kind of just seems a little out of my wheelhouse. Oh,
Lucinda Listless. What?
you're right. Shit.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go.
No, no.
And with that, she is gone.
Gosh darn it! I want to learn more about these characters, but it doesn't help if you converse with me 5 seconds and then have to go make a phone call, okay? I know I'm ugly, but come on!
There's something
Whoa!
so intensely familiar about the cuddly stranger standing in your closet.
What is this?
The combination of his massive stature and the soft materials he wears produces an almost irresistible urge to hug him. And the aura of safety he emanates certainly doesn't help.
I happen to agree.
Well, well, well. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Hello there, Pappy Bear.
Yeah.
And your name is Teddy. I love it.
Well, I'm kind to everybody.
Yeah, but you're so awesome.
Well, almost everybody. I try to be kind as much as I can, but sometimes considerate is the best I can do. Kindness is not a bottomless well, you know. Some people can't receive it when you offer it.
True. This is a fact of life.
I think of kindness kind of like really good peanut butter.
Tell me about really good peanut butter. I'm intrigued.
For people who like peanut butter, who savor it, who appreciate and enjoy it, I give them a lot of it because I get it back and boy, it feels good. But for people who don't like peanut butter, who scrape it off or who don't even notice when they've gotten a big, thick layer of it on their Sammy, why give them more of what they don't want?
Interesting side note. How much peanut butter do you put on your sandwich?
No hard feelings, you see. But if you don't like peanut butter, it's okay. I got jelly, too.
Huh. I bet you do.
Well, that's wonderful. You know, it's been a little while since we talked. There's probably a whole lot of kindness waiting for you around here. Tell me, what brought you around to see me? Not at all. Not for me, anyway. Closets are some of my favorite rooms in a house.
Mm-hmm.
Get a good cozy blanket, a candle, and close that door, and you've got a perfect little cocoon. A little nest of peace and safety.
I
You're
agree.
welcome to share mine, or we can sit on the bed and talk. I'm comfortable in either place. And no matter where I am, I'll always be happy to be with you.
Oh
I'll
my
leave it up to you.
goodness.
Where should I go?
Let's do this.
So comfy. I've got a terrific story lined up for you tonight. Are you ready?
Oh, absolutely.
Being that it's getting to nighty-night time, I got a story to help you drift off to sleep. For me, whenever it's daytime, I'll give advice. But at sleepy time, it's story time.
It's so cuddly. It's just so wholesome. This is the best game ever.
Want to hear my story?
Do it.
Oh, this one. This is the Biggie Buddy. It's a good one.
Do tell.
The Great Constructing of Beaver Proudtail.
Mm-hmm.
It was very early in the morning, one cold and foggy day, a very long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Young Beaver Proudtail was walking quietly and efficiently through the dugout tunnels of his den, his trusty stick tucked confidently under one arm. It was at this time every morning that the young beaver made his rounds, through the whole den where his colony lived, and then up and out the riverbank, where the world he knew, the world he vigilantly protected, met the strangeness of outside.
Ah.
His large tail balanced him expertly as he climbed the long entrance tunnel to the surface, occasionally using his dignified stick in an undignified manner to scramble up the pathway.
Don't you hate it when you do that with your sticks?
As he heaved himself out onto the bank of the river, Beaver's attentiveness grew even more acute. It was dangerous to be outside alone. The Great War with the colony across the river had been going on for as long as he could remember, and a fair bit of time beyond that.
Huh? Oh.
It seemed like there had always been the war. He couldn't remember any outright battles or even any scrappy skirmishes, but they were definitely at war. He was sure of it. For a moment, he almost asked himself what the war was even about. But he forgot to finish the question. He was very young, after all, and what did it matter? The colony was on the other side of the river, and beavers didn't even cross rivers. He smartly tucked his stick back under his arm and began his patrol. So many steps this way, a scrutinizing scan, and so many steps back. But today, something was different. On the other bank of the river, through the fog, he heard the distinctive sounds of battle. "On guard, ye scum-footed knave," the voice cried. "Defy me at your peril." The sounds of the wood clanging against wood echoed through the fog. Hey-ya! Pow! Bing, bang, boom! "Who goes there?" shouted Beaver, his heart in his little throat. As an answer, he heard a young and high-pitched yelp. "Ah! My name is Builder. Hi? Hi." It was all Beaver could manage. He was talking to another creature, a stranger, and a stranger from across the river at that. How many times had the Colony Council, the Denizen, warned him about the dangers of this? It was strictly against the rules.
Then what happened?
And Beaver had always followed the rules. "Hi!" The voice came careening back across the water. "What's your name?" Beaver heaved a deep breath. Whoever this Builder was, Beaver was not going to be shown less brave than he. "I'm Beaver. Beaver Proudtail." "Well, hello, Beaver Patton. Builder Jumpfoot's my name. I'm playing at war. Want to join me?" "I most certainly do not," cried Beaver. "Playing at war? War is serious business, not for playing. My colony is in a war right now, and I'm going to be a general when I grow up. I'm going to win that war. You'll see." "Oh, gosh," sighed Builder. "I sure hope you do. My colony is in a war too, and I'm so tired of it. That's why I made it a game. Games are so much less boring than warring all the time." The pieces began rapidly whirling around in Beaver's mind. Builder's colony. He's at war too. Right across the river. He realized he was talking to a beaver from the colony across the river, his sworn enemy since birth. Just then, the wind blew a gentle clearing in the fog, and the two young beavers saw each other for the first time. They could have been twins. Bright black eyes, thick tails, strong sticks, embellished with their colony colors. Builder's face broke into a broad grin. "You look just like me!" Scoffed Beaver. "I'd say you look just like me!" Builder laughed. The two regarded each other in amazement for another moment. It was the first time either of them had seen a denizen from the other colony. Builder leaned down and hefted up a perfect pebble from the riverside. Not too big, not too small. He tossed it up. With perfect timing, he swung his stick easily, and Beaver heard it crack as it met the pebble in midair and sent it winging across the water.
This is so cool.
Instinctively, Beaver reached out and caught it in his paw. Now he was accepting contraband? What would his parents say? But, upon inspection, the pebble was quite beautiful. It had a single bold red stripe around it, and it was wet from the riverside mud. His young mind decided that he would keep it. He would keep it a secret, of course, and that was all right. The denizen didn't have to know everything. The clearing and the fog began to fill with thickened air. He looked up, suddenly anxious to lose his new friend. Friend? Huh. How quickly that had happened. And there Builder was, smiling and waving. "Maybe we'll play together again soon," he offered. Beaver gripped the pebble and nodded. Yes. Yes, maybe. One day. And then Builder was lost. Beaver finished his patrol and took his new experience, his pebble, and his smartly tucked stick back down to the colony. How you doing, buddy? Need a break?
No. Come on.
Many seasons had passed since that morning when Beaver Proudtail, all grown up, marched through the tunnels of his colony toward his audience.
I
with
want to
the
know
denizen.
how this ends.
Today was the day he'd been anticipating his whole life. Today, he would be made an under-general of the colony, and he'd finally have the chance to present his machine. See, the machine he envisioned was a daring one. He was prepared for pushback and doubt from the council. The longest, in particular. The longest had been the leader of the denizens for most of his life, and she was not always interested in things new or unfamiliar. Beaver's machine was both. But he believed in it, and he was determined to persevere. He rapped on the denizen chamber door. Knock, knock. "Enter!" He took a deep breath and pushed. "My goodness, Beaver," sighed the longest, brows knitted. "This machine is quite an undertaking, and you won't even tell us what it does." "Yes, ma'am," Beaver nodded. "It must be kept a secret, for now, but I promise it will conclusively end this war." The longest considered. "Normally, I would say no. Unfamiliar can be dangerous, and outright new, well..." She stroked her silver-gray whiskers. The other council members watched her reverently. "But we have all seen the construction beginning on the other side of the river. We have no way of knowing what they're up to, and it would be irresponsible of us to take no action at all. They're doing something. We must do something too." Deep murmurs of assent rippled around the small stump table. "And we trust Beaver. He is our newest under-general, after all." She winked in his direction. "If he believes his machine will truly and finally tip the balance of the Great War in our favor." She paused.
This story is better than half the movies that we get today. I'm just saying, we need the great constructing of Beaver Proudtail as a movie. Someone get on this.
The silence was agonizing. Beaver kept his eyes fixed on the wall just behind her head, patient. His paw unconsciously turned and returned a small pebble in his pocket, caressing along the line of a single great red stripe. Then permission is granted. Beaver let go the breath he had been holding. Whew. Begin construction as soon as you are able, Under General. And good luck. She smiled warmly. But the burden of her long years of leadership showed through her sagging cheeks. We will be watching. Beaver smartly untucked and retucked his stick, slapped his tail once against the packed ground in assent. Yes, ma'am. Longest. I'll begin right away. He turned on his heel and marched out of the chamber. It was the first day of summer. It was going to be a long and exciting season. At first, the build crews the Longest had placed under his command were reticent. What are we building? They would complain. What does it do? When Beaver said nothing and admonished them to follow instructions, their eyes flickered nervously to the building across the river. Maybe it's something to help us fish the river, Corinth Blue Eye speculated. Did you hear? Denny Strongpaw almost got swept away yesterday. And his whole crew. He did? But Denny's the strongest fisher we have. Shelby Tunneler sighed. Ah, this river. It's so fast. Yes, yes, retorted Maddened Sharptooth. But fishing will not win us the war. We must focus on the war. And the others agreed and went back to their building.
And then...
Sometimes the Longest would come to check on the machine, casting her critical eye over every joint and pillar. Most often, she went back below with hardly a word to Beaver, appraising, wearing her doubt like a shawl. But as the summer season progressed, the mood began to shift. Crews would show up to their duties early. They smiled more. They stood up straighter when Beaver came by them or looked to them for progress. The machine, whatever it was taking shape, and its scale was impressive. It looked angry. It looked like the great weapon they all hoped and prayed it was. The crews began comparing their machine to the thing on the other side of the river. They even began trading barbs and joked with the Beavers working on the other side. They pushed and prodded about who would finish their project first. Ours is a ship to go to the sky, and from there, we'll drop stars on you, and we'll win the war. Ha! Would come the reply. Ours is a wooden dragon, who lives under the water, who can take us safely across this speeding river, and we'll come upon you unexpectedly, and we'll win the war. Days were marked now by hard work, and the sounds of challenge ricocheting across the water. Beaver, said the Longest as she held onto his arm one day late into the summer sun, I don't need to tell you. The whole colony speaks of nothing but your machine. They are all so proud of you. Beaver nodded solemnly. Thank you, ma'am. But the season draws on. You must finish before the rains come. And then you'll have to finally tell us what this is that you've created. Beaver's paw found the lucky pebble in his pocket. Yes, ma'am, we will be done. And I will test it, and you will watch. You'll see the destruction of our enemy. The Longest squeezed his arm affectionately, and together they looked out over the setting sun and the water. How you doing, buddy? Need a break?
Oh, no. No, come on. I want to hear the end of this story.
The day came. The crew stood around the great machine, eyeing with wonder the marvel that they had built. A few beaver folk noticed how similar theirs looked to the one across the river. But that was okay, they reasoned. They had been built facing each other after all. Beaver Proudtail strode up to the front of his machine. With his well-worn stick and his powerful bearing, he cut quite a figure. Corinth Blue Eye and Shelby Tunneler stood just behind him, awaiting their orders. All right, Corinth. Beaver turned to face them. Do you have the rope? Yes, sir. Corinth turned to Shelby, who produced the end of a long length of woven rope from a basket in the base of the machine. Time to get me up there, then. With the end of the rope tied around his waist, Beaver climbed up to what looked like a large square of woven netting, pulled tightly back from its center by a thick cable. The cable was held by 4 whole crews of beaver folk, straining against the resistance of the net. The longest stood back at a safe distance, her shawl wrapped tightly around her shoulders to ward off the early autumn chill. Beaver settled himself right in the middle of the netting, at the last moment shaking his head in sudden memory. Here, he said to Shelby, and handed her his precious stick. I'll be back for this. Back? Queried Shelby. Ready, crews! Shouted Beaver. Ready, under general! Came the chorused reply. And loose! At their cue, the crews simultaneously released their hold on the cabling, and the netting rocketed forward, launching Beaver Proudtail out into the air. Great river! They cried in consternation and shock. What? Where is he gone? Is he all right? Oh, what have we done? The confusion was so great that not even the longest could restore order. Minutes passed before another shape came sailing over the river from the other side to plop safely and squarely into the center of the net. It was Beaver. He had the same square head and the same rope wrapped securely around his waist. Good luck! What a ride! That's the most fun I've had in weeks, said the shape in the net. He began to disentangle himself and stand up. And it wasn't Beaver after all. The royal of the cruise was instant and a bit frightening. Who is this? Who are you? They cried, and the longest shouted at the top of her lungs, Detain the stranger! The crews pulled him down from the net, and the stranger never stopped smiling, greeting them warmly, even patting some of the beaver folk on the back. He looked just like Beaver. But Beaver never smiled like that.
This is so wholesome.
Beaver hardly smiled at all, come to think of it. I can understand your confusion, said the stranger genially. Beaver and I looked so much alike, even when we were kids. My name is Builder. Builder Jumpfoot. When no reply or greeting was forthcoming, Builder went on. I'm from the colony across the river. Oh, the silence was absolute. Across the river? How was that possible? Was he a weapon? Where was Beaver? How were they ever to get him back? Builder just smiled, absolutely at his ease, seemingly pleased as punch to be among all these new friends. And into this silence sailed the figure of Beaver, a new rope tied around his waist. There were now 3 lines of thick rope across the river. Beaver landed expertly in the center of the net, untied his waist rope, and climbed down. You are Builder? Beaver reached out his paw to the stranger. And you could only be Beaver, the stranger exclaimed, gripping that paw warmly with his own. I am Builder indeed, and it has been the dream of my life to finally meet you like this, in the daylight, on the same soil. Mine as well, my friend. Beaver, for the first time in his life, allowed himself a great, eye-crinkling smile. I almost can't believe it worked. Now, wait just a minute, trilled the longest, making her slow path down to the machine. What on Riverbank is happening here? We are at war, Beaver. And Builder, too. You both should know better. Beaver, you promised us that your machine would win the war, and here you have brought the enemy you promised to destroy right to the mouth of our colony tunnel. Beaver turned to the longest with an open face. Yes, ma'am, I did. I believe you'll agree, though, that I have won the war. We have all won the war. Because the war is over. The longest stared. The machines that we have built will allow us to become not 2 colonies at war, but a single colony, united.
Yes!
The machines are designed to dam this river, ma'am, offered Builder. I believe you have the same dangers with fishing and swimming that we do. That you have never crossed it? The crews cackled at the absurdity of ever crossing this raging river. We have no need to fight the river now, you see? Builder continued. We sail above it. Just as the single pebble did long ago, whispered Beaver. Builder smiled. We have already carried 3 great ropes from side to side between us, and it will be short work to have a whole net built across the river. Once the river is dammed, it will be a still pond, stocked with all the fish we could ever need, calm enough for us and our kits to play in. We will be a great community, the first colonies to ever cross water, the first ingenious constructors in the history of us.
If this ends poorly, I'm going to sue.
The crews were open-mouthed. Their paws hung still at their sides as they realized the magnitude of what they had accomplished. But would it truly be good, as they said? Who was really to say how this great feat would be remembered? The longest took a deep, rattling breath. I can see why you did not tell us at first, Beaver, the true purpose of your machine. She glanced at him sidelong. I surely would have said no. Nothing this daring has ever even been attempted before, let alone under the mask of subterfuge. Beaver looked up at her, suddenly a very young kit again in his heart. Yes, that is true, ma'am. I have won the war. I have won by making it go away. We have all won it. By making friends out of old enemies. Ma'am... Mother.
It's his
like it?
mom!
The longest looked fondly on her son. Her serious and guarded and daring and wonderful son. Yes, child. I have never been more proud of anyone. Builder guffawed and began to dance around, slapping Beaver brazenly and companionably on his back. Beaver stood solemn, quiet, a gentle smile tickling the corners of his mouth, satisfied. It was, as they had promised, quick work to dam the river. Beaver and Builder were excellent guides, and the crew from both sides of the river proved naturally adept and joyous in their work. Before the autumn settled in, a great still pool existed between the 2 colonies. Kits splashing and playing, and parents fishing safely. Denny Strongpaw, the best fisher in the fast water, turned out to be the best fisher in still water too, much to his delight. And very early each morning, Beaver Proudtail still crept quietly from the colony and performed his morning rounds. He had never missed a day. But now, his favorite part of his patrol was seeing Builder Jumpfoot across the water and batting a very specific, very lucky, red striped pebble back and forth. That's just it. Thanks for listening all the way through. Good night, buddy.
Oh! That was amazing! Who's going to ruin this? Is this that David douche?
Attention, jackasses! It's been weeks already, and you're seriously telling me there's been absolutely no movement on this missing glasses issue? Maybe I haven't made myself crystal clear. Nothing else matters. You get me? Your expense reports, corporate retreats, PowerPoint presentations, I don't care about any of it. This is your one and only priority. You find me those glasses if you gotta burn this whole worthless rat trap down to the foundation, and do it now! Secretary Dawson at the Pentagon is breathing down my neck, and his breath stinks like flaming garbage. You think shareholders are bad to piss off? You do not want to screw with the U.S. Department of Overseas Violence, get me? We're all gonna end up buried alive in some desert somewhere. Find me those glasses now! And who the hell came up with the 15% off transparent items promo? No consumer buys anything based off of how transparent it is.
Find me whoever came up with that crap and fire them. David.
Hey, David! Here's some advice for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that very wholesome story. Oh my word. I love it so much. I love this game. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, subscribing for more Date Everything. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. This is a magnificent game. Oh, man. And until next time, Uncle Rusty says, cuddle your teddies. Do it over. Many of these items are voiced by voice actors and actresses. However, what's nice about this
Date everything.
is if you click on